Welcome to this panel presentation on the Focal Skills Approach to Intensive ESL. I'm Brenda Murphy, your moderator for the session. We begin with the main focus of everything we do, the student. This international student wants to earn a degree from a university in an English-speaking country. She has selected a university and is eager to get started. But there is something in her way. Her English is not good enough to satisfy the entrance requirements. Fortunately, there is an intensive English program, or IEP, ready to serve her. There are many ways to design an IEP. Here we will examine one such design called Focal Skills. The basic structure of Focal Skills is a sequence of 4 modules: listening, reading, writing, and advanced, and a sequence of placement tests: listening, reading, and writing. Let's watch a sample of new students going through the placement process at the beginning of a semester on September 1st in our example. First, the students take the listening test. Those with scores below the low intermediate level are placed in the listening module. The rest go on to take the reading test. Those with scores below the intermediate level on the reading test are placed in the reading module. The rest go on to take the writing test. Those with scores below the high intermediate level on the writing test are placed in the writing module. The rest go on to the advanced module. This placement system follows the principle of progressive functional skill integration. By establishing listening first, we ensure that students in later modules can understand what is going on. Listening plays an important role in the development of reading, which in turn serves as a foundation for writing work. Speaking develops gradually throughout the modules. By the time students reach the advanced module, all 4 skills are functional and ready to support the development of academic English. Let's look at some typical teaching activities used in the various modules. We'll start with listening. In all the modules, Focal Skills instruction emphasizes 4 key principles: progressive functional skill integration, as already explained, comprehensible input, low affective filter, and authentic materials. A major activity in the listening module is movie talk. The teacher shows authentic movies, narrates the scenes and actions, and paraphrases the dialogue as needed. The movie makes the teacher's input more comprehensible, and the student's job is simply to watch and listen, so there's very little stress and affective filters remain low. Another common activity is the talk show. The teacher works with a partner describing realia and actions, holding simple conversations, and so forth. In this example, the topic is plumbing. Next, we look at the reading module. A popular activity is group reading. Since these students already have functional listening comprehension, they can understand the teacher and take part in discussions. The teacher frequently reads aloud to support comprehension of the written text. Interesting material from newspapers, magazines, books, and the internet can all be used at this level. Students are not required to perform in ways that would cause them to feel stress or anxiety. Rather, the focus is on the content itself. In other words, this is authentic reading in a group setting. Time is often set aside for free voluntary reading, which gives students the opportunity to read for their own interest and pleasure. The teacher serves as advisor and facilitator. Research by Krashen and others has found clear evidence that free voluntary reading is a powerful tool for literacy development. Now we'll take a look at a writing module activity. In the co-author technique, The student's existing reading ability serves as a foundation for progress in writing. Every day, the student reads to find ideas, then produces a short writing project. The teacher confers with the student, then rewrites selected portions of the student's work to make it perfectly grammatical and idiomatic, thus showing the student how his or her thoughts might be expressed by a proficient writer. The student reads the teacher's rewrite several times and asks questions as needed. The advanced module can be thought of as the interface between the focal skills program and the student's future educational or occupational objectives. In academic settings, this usually involves addressing academic English in one way or another. A common format for the advanced module is the mini-course. This can be configured along the lines of a short academic course with readings, lectures, assignments, and assessments. At this point, the students are capable of functioning in all skills, although still somewhat short of full academic readiness. The work in the advanced module promotes further language acquisition, while at the same time giving students experience in the academic culture that awaits them. The standard focal skill schedule has students in their modules 75% of the time, 3 hours a day in a 20-hour, 5-day week. The other hour each day is normally devoted to electives. An elective can cover anything imaginable as long as it promotes the student's English language development. Students choose their own electives, sometimes with faculty guidance. A student may choose an elective that somewhat echoes the work in his or her current module, or students may explore electives that provide a change of pace. Elective topics can change as often as desired, even weekly, subject, of course, to practical considerations. Now let's take a look at the placement cycle. In our example, students began the program on September 1st and were placed as shown here. After 4 weeks, the placement testing cycle is repeated. This allows students to move on as soon as they are ready or remain in their current module if they need more improvement. In this way, the proficiency levels of students in a module stay fairly close together. The focal skills design also makes it easy to admit new students whenever placement testing is done. New and continuing students mix well because teachers simply use a different set of authentic materials every 4 weeks. New students don't have to catch up on anything, and continuing students don't have to repeat anything. First, students who are already in listening take the listening test, along with all the new students. In this example, 2 new students are placed in listening. The current student plus 2 new students go on to take the reading test, where they join the current reading student. The current reading student needs to spend more time in the reading module. One of the new students is also placed in reading, while another goes on to take the writing test. Note that the student who started the month in listening has been able to skip reading, so she takes the writing test, as does the current writing student. After taking the writing test, the original listening student is placed in writing along with a new student. The original writing student has now gone on to the advanced module. How does a student in the advanced module exit the program? Focal Skills does not prescribe a test for this. Students exit the program whenever their goals have been reached. In most IEPs, this means satisfying the university's English proficiency requirement. As soon as this requirement is no longer in the way, a student can exit the Focal Skills program and enter the university. Several research studies indicate that focal skills students make rapid progress in English proficiency. Even in grammar and speaking, which are not explicitly taught in any of the modules, the focal skills students do at least as well as students in other programs for which data is available. As for global measures of listening, reading, and writing, as well as TOEFL scores, comparisons show that focal skills students make more progress per semester, as illustrated here. Of course, it would be desirable to carry out more research on these matters, and we would welcome research partners in other IEPs. For more information, please visit focalskills.info.